Hello, I'm Lynn Talbott, your bookkeeper's coach, and today we're going to be talking about how to manage your clients in a virtual world, right? We no longer pick up our laptop and drive to our client's location like I used to and log on to their, QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks desktop version. We are all virtual now. So this is part 2 of a series of how to manage a virtual business. So you've landed here because either you have a bookkeeping company or you're independent bookkeeper and you're thinking of growing or scaling your firm and you want some tips on how to manage clients in a virtual world. So the clients are your lifeblood of your business. So let's talk how to build a lasting, respectful, and just sort of streamline relationships when you're running everything virtually. So the first thing, number one, is you're going to set your expectations early, and you're going to do that in the contract. So you're going to have to take some time to create a contract that is, one, both binding, and two, friendly enough and easy enough for them to understand. What I do is I have a cover letter that says, this is when I start, this is the monthly fee, and then on the very first page, it looks like a little, it's just like a little boxes that are ticked off, and it says, I will do these things. And then some of the boxes are not ticked, and it will say, you will do these things, like you manage your own payroll or you manage your own AR. I manage your AP, whatever it might be. And that way it's very clear and easy for the client to see, these are the 20 items I'm doing, and these are the 5 or 6 items that you mentioned, but I'm not doing them, because you don't want to get caught up in something like, well, you should have known that payroll didn't run, or you should have known that commissions needed to go out. I'm not managing your payroll. It's not in the contract. It didn't even occur to me to look. So what I tell my clients is, I'm happy to back you up with payroll, or happy to help you maybe sync. If you're using an outside service like Gusto or ADP, I can help you sync or do the journal entries, but I'm not going to be managing your payroll on a day-to-day basis. You're responsible for that. And I'm happy to be like your backup or something if you're sick or you need help with anything, because that's what a bookkeeper does. You're going to help with that. So you're going to set the clear expectations up front. And I also like to, this is a habit I got into, a bad habit I got into with my business, in that it's hard for me to say no. So a client might text me late in the day or even on a Saturday, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything. I'll just hop on here and be the hero and fix their file and save it, before Monday morning, because Mondays are very busy for me. And so I used to think, if I could just get all this stuff done on Saturday, Monday will be a lot easier. But I found that I was saying yes, and people kind of had an expectation that I would answer their emails on the weekend, work on the weekend. So I never got to get to Monday. The days just rolled around, and every day seemed like a Monday. So those expectations also, you don't have to verbalize them that you're not going to work on the weekends. Just resist the urge to jump on things just because the client feels like it's an emergency. If you get the email on Saturday morning, you're like, wait, that's great. Put a star on it and answer it Monday. Or if you want to answer it, let the email go out, schedule it to go out Monday morning so that it's not urgent. Of course, if it's something urgent. But I found in the bookkeeping world, there's not really a lot of emergencies, maybe a payroll on a Friday afternoon if it didn't run right or something needs to be done. But again, that's about the only emergency I'm going to probably respond to. So set those expectations up front and let them know that you're here for them, but you're not going to go around for any perceived emergency that may or may not be there. And just think of it as your boundaries. Those are your boundaries, right? That's all you're going to do, because you need some boundaries for your lives, because you've created a life for yourself so that you can, work when you want to and have some flexibility. You don't want to be working all the time. So save your peace of mind and don't work on the weekends if you don't absolutely have to. So the second one is, you've given them the contract of what the things you're going to do. Then you need to meet those expectations. Actually, you need to exceed them every month. Try to exceed them. Try to go out of your way, especially that first 3 or 4 months, so they know that you're on it. You know what you're doing. You're asking all the right questions. You've given them the files. If you said you needed them, if you said in your contract you would have all the financials done by the 15th, have them. If you have them done by the 12th, then send them on. You don't have to always do that, but just meeting your expectations and exceeding them is going to be what's going to keep your clients around. And I call that the wow factor. Like, you just want to wow your client, because they came to you because there was something that they didn't like about their previous situation. Maybe they were doing the books themselves. Maybe their bookkeeper just didn't respond very much, or the bookkeeper just didn't seem very interested in them personally. You're going to take a personal interest in your clients. You're going to be talking to them, emailing them, finding out, what it is that they like about their business, why they started their business. Take an interest in them and they will stay with you, because you've probably heard this before. It's a lot easier to keep a client than it is to get a new client and try to get them up to par and on your system and all of that. And then you don't even know if they're going to be a good fit. So if you've got a good client, you like them, here's some more tips on how to keep them. So you just want to make sure their road is less stressful. You're going to find out what it is that they expect from you, and you're going to exceed that. You probably ask them during the discovery interview, well, what are some of your pain points? And those are the things you need to be listening to, and you need to make sure that you're not creating any of those pain points, that you are alleviating as many of those pain points that you can. So wow them with proactive updates and clear guidance. So number 3, acknowledge all their questions promptly, because they came to you and they need bookkeeping because they can't do it themselves, right? I don't know, they could be a little bit of a hot mess, or maybe they just don't have a business degree. And a lot of entrepreneurs, and if you work with entrepreneurs all the time, you'll agree with this, they are very creative, and they just go, and they kind of don't want to deal a lot with their books. But when they do get in their books and they get in there and they start looking, and I bet you've had this happen, they start calling you, well, why did you put this in travel? I thought it was a meal. Why is it in travel? It's not a meal. Okay, well, it says Oklahoma and we're here in Tennessee, so I thought that was a travel meal. Oh, okay, why is this here? They get all like, not really defensive, but all of a sudden they're paying attention. So you're going to want to take all those opportunities to teach and teach them and let them learn. But also you want them to feel confident that you know what you're doing, that you've put it in this for a reason, because you don't want to ask them all 59 things that came through their credit card that month, where they all go, because you kind of know you're making some assumptions. And that's one of the things you want to talk to them about, is that you will be making, some assumptions. I tell them, hey, I'm going to make assumptions based on my 20 years knowledge of bookkeeping. If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, I'm going to put it in the duck chart of accounts. And we're going to go through these and go over them either at the end of the year or end of the quarter, or whenever you guys have decided, to make sure that I'm aligning with what you are aligning to, that I'm doing these things correctly. But also at the end of the month, if there's a question and an outlier, you know what those are, just something that they've gone and done something. You're like, what is that? I've never seen that. It's not a vendor. Looks kind of odd. You're going to pop that email. Hey, I finished reconciling, but I wasn't quite sure what to do with this. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? And those questions, same thing. They'll ask you, why did you do this? You want to get back to them quickly. They want you to get back to them, and you want them to get back to you so that you can go on with the next month. Because it's hard to close out the next month and feel like it's closed out if you're still waiting for something from 2 months ago, because they wrote a check and you don't know what it's for and you don't have access to the bank. I get kind of anxious. I'm like, I really need to do that. So if I'm on month 2 or 3, I will send that email that says, here's what I need for this month. And then, oh, don't forget, I'm still looking for this from the prior months. So they can get that. And if you acknowledge their questions, quickly, they'll acknowledge yours or answer yours as well. So the last part that I like to do is show your clients that you care about them, just a personal touch. So I like to send out either Thanksgiving cards or, Christmas holiday cards. And that's just a no-brainer. But also, if you can, send a birthday card. I am impressed if one of my clients sends me a birthday card, or like an insurance person that I work with. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. It's just tiny little 1 second of, that is so nice. And that's what you want to be perceived as. I'm not just your bookkeeper. I'm a friend, and I'm part of your team. I want to be on your team, and I want the team to be successful. The team being the business owner, the employees, maybe they've got an operations manager you work with, the CPA. That is the team. And it's just, whatever the name of the company is, Team Bakers or whatever they are, that's the team you want to be on, and you want to perceive that way. So let them know that they're not just a number in your CRM, and that that you want to turn them into a long-term client. So you can follow them on social media. So one of the things you can do is if your firm has a social media or Instagram account, you can follow them with your business account, follow their business with your business account. And I like to do that and then post, if they had a milestone, maybe something great happened, or just promoting them and saying, look, I want to just shout out to my client who did this. And it makes them feel that you are really helping them. And I hope I am, in a way, helping them. So those are some of the things that you can do as a virtual firm owner. So these are some of the things that you can do with your bookkeeping firm. So if you're trying to grow your virtual bookkeeping firm, don't just focus on getting more clients. Focus on being an incredible leader and a partner to your team and to your clients. So if you want to scale your firm to 6 or 7 figures, you need to learn how to run a virtual company. And if you're looking for more support, we have a support group here called the Bookkeepers Training Circle, where we all get together and talk. And I do meetings in there as well, and answer questions and do little snippets here or there on how to run a successful bookkeeping business. And for more practical advice on how to run a bookkeeping company, click subscribe. If you like this video, check out our podcast, The Better Bookkeeper Show, now available on Spotify or wherever you find your podcast.